I had reported yesterday that Valve had fired 13 full-time employees and quite a few contractors just directly out of their offices on February 7th, 2019. Well, yesterday we reported that a lot of those people had to do with VR and hardware designing, and as of now, that is still the case. However, following that story hitting some mainstream media attention, Gabe Newell started to answer quite a few community questions regarding the situation of these layoffs and if they had affected Valve's development in any way. First of all, Mr. Newell answered the question that it was 13 full-time employees and it was a people thing, not a hardware thing. This specifically means that they were not fired because the hardware was finished and they did not need them. This also means that they were not fired because they were developing something related to hardware that Valve did not agree with. What this could mean, though, is that it might have something to do with the employee review system, the system that has to do with people either getting fired or getting massive bonuses if they have things that create short-term value for the company. Something that seems to be incredibly responsible for a lot of the games being shelved and not released over the last 10 years, and something that I have been told Valve has been toning back. If 13 people were fired because of a employee review problem and the bottom 13 were just taken out of the offices, then that still spells some trouble for the future of Valve releasing games. However, if this has something to do with office politics, like 2015 and 2013 with the Half-Life games, then maybe people were in a major disagreement and were thrown out because of an argument or something was done. In two other emails, Gabe essentially answered the same question, stating that nothing that they were doing in relation to VR, and more specifically the 3 VR games that they announced back in February of 2017 that they have been working on since, have not been shelved or canceled or changed in any ways due to these firings or generally anything. The 3 VR games we've been waiting for are still in development. Now, why exactly did Valve even feel the need to answer these questions? Well, it's no secret that Valve isn't doing so hot in the mainstream media. There have been some massive outcries for Valve to start controlling what ends up on the Steam platform, and these recent developments have not helped. Not only that, but the firing of these 13 people seemed to spark some conversations in the community regarding some games being canceled and all the things we were already being hyped up to have not happening anymore, specifically HLVR. It's no secret that Valve is developing a Half-Life VR game, and Gabe seemed to want to let people know that that is still happening, which is kind of strange. What wasn't as cool is that we've learned that it was far more than 13 total people. More than even 13 contractors were taken out of Valve altogether. And we have now learned that some of those contractors include Richard Garfield and Scaff, the people who have developed Artifact. The Artifact team has now been downsized to no longer have some of the contractors they previously did, and that includes Richard Garfield. So it seems as if everything is leading people to believe that this is just business as usual. However, such a public conversation about people getting fired from a company has not really happened in the past for Valve. This seems to be pointing towards some changing directions and possible facing towards software development instead of hardware development, and projects finishing up and projects still being worked on and will be released on schedule. The problem is they never actually directly communicate any of this, and all we have to do is based on the different speculations that are in the community that Gabe is now operating on like everybody knows about it in the community. Gabe needs to emphasize that the things we've only learned about through leaks are still happening, which is a really strange situation to be in. That said, based on Gabe's strange behavior, really makes me think that HLVR and the Knuckles are still happening this year, and that combined with Boneworks makes me think that VR has quite a great future. However, the Artifact team being downsized does not spell well for that team, and I really hope we get some actual conversation on exactly what is going on and if Valve still intends to be, quote, in it for the long haul. Because to be completely honest, I really wanted that game to succeed, and I still want that game to succeed. There's a lot they haven't done, so I guess send any questions you have to Gabe Newell because he's answering them. Not only that, but when someone asked the question, when you said, quote, it was a people thing, did you mean just replacing them with mutant clones of yourself with chips in your brain set to mode extinguish? To which Gabe Newell even answered saying, tried that, it doesn't scale.